guys, it's me, Daily, and welcome back to my channel. First of all, this is the first video that I filmed. It was a while ago, months ago, that I posted a video, and I really wanted to make YouTube a thing that I did for fun. I stopped doing that, even though I really liked it, because I had no time. The school year was so stressful, and now it's summertime, and I really want to make this a thing that I do every single week. And now that I have time to fit it into my schedule, I kind of want to learn over this summer how to put this into consideration during the school year, because I know senior year is going to be really hard on me, just like junior year was. Hopefully not as difficult, but I did sign up for a lot of AP classes, so it'll probably be hard. Today I have a book haul because I love book hauls. I love filming them. I love editing them. Before we get started, thank you to every single person who is subscribed to this channel. I love every single person who puts time in their day to comment on videos and share their thoughts. So yeah, let's get started, shall we? Let's start. Ooh, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I haven't done this in so long that I don't even know where to start. Let's just start with some like mystery thrillers. The first book, I found a book in the clearance section. It was only $7.97, and I haven't taken the price tag off yet, but that is Notes on Your Disappearance. Oh, Notes on Your Sudden Disappearance, excuse me. The cover struck me. It's so like summery and also kind of looks eerie because it's just a pool with the floaties in it, but there's no one there. You know what I mean? It's kind of just eerie. Sally is amazed at how much her older sister Kathy seems to know about the world. Sally and Kathy are pretty much polar opposites, but they find that they share one similarity when they're talking about this boy named Billy Barnes. I'm pretty sure he's on like the basketball team or football team or something. Yeah, the basketball star, and he's good looking, I'm assuming. And Sally just sits back and watches as Kathy slowly falls in love with Billy. But then tragedy strikes, and that's all I know. Then the tragedy strikes, and then something happens where there's a disappearance. And I'm assuming Kathy disappears, but I have no idea. Next, I got the 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle at the Half Price bookstore at one of them. There's 6 locations in the cities, but I went to 4 of them, and I don't remember which one I bought this one from. But I found it, and it's in pristine, perfect condition. Aidan Bishop is stuck in the middle of a murder mystery. Each day he wakes up, he is reliving the same day. He's in a loop. He's stuck in a loop, and he lives the same day over and over again. And the reason he relives this day over and over again is because he's trying to solve the murder of Evelyn Hardcastle. There's 8 suspects and 8 days to solve this murder. And the thing is, it's really interesting, is that each day he wakes up to the same day, but he is a different guest's body. He's in a different body. So he gets a different perspective every single day on who could possibly be the killer. That's all I know about this book. It sounds so interesting, and this cover is gorgeous. Next up, we have The Angel Maker by Alex North. I love Alex North. My first ever Book of the Month subscription box, I decided to choose The Shadows by Alex North as my pick. I got it in the mail. I read it in 3 days, which is still so good for me. I don't read books that fast. I read books so extremely slow, it's unbearable. But I fell in love. 5-star read. 5 out of 5. 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100. 100%, whatever you want to say. I just gobbled that thing up. Then I went to The Whisper Man, excuse me. I went to The Whisper Man by Alex North, which was his first ever published book, I'm pretty sure, his debut. And so I read that. Freaked me out. Scary. My blinds got ripped off the wall that night because my dog was being stupid. She ripped my blinds off the wall. I was sitting on my bed, no blinds, nothing to cover my window, and I was reading about a stalker who goes up to children's windows and whispers to them. And that was 3-4 years ago. They scared me to the bone. I was frightened, honestly. I've been waiting 2-3 years to read another Alex North book since I've read his last 2, and I finally have my hands on it, and I haven't read it yet. I don't know if I'll wait until around Halloween or like September to like do a reading vlog on it or something. I don't know, maybe this summer. I feel like summertime is a really good time to read thrillers and horrors. Like I feel like that's the time to get that stuff done. Because during the school year, I'm not going to have any time. I feel like it's going to be just like last year. And that's so disappointing. But maybe I'll try and make some more time this year than I did last year. Of course, I did have a boyfriend that took up a lot of my time for no reason whatsoever. Wasted my time. But you can guess that we're not dating anymore. Speaking of which, I had a boyfriend for like 3 months. Really liked him. Like a lot. And now he likes somebody who I call a friend. So as you can tell, I'm stuck in a bit of a pickle because I'm pretty sure she likes him back. And that I'm not gonna get mad at her for. It's just so painful to watch happen. I'm just trying to be the bigger person. It's really hard though. I'm sure we've all been there, but I know I'll get over it. It'll be fine. Next up, The House with Good... Back to it. The House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher. So this one is about a girl named Sam, and she's revisiting her childhood home where her mother lives alone. But her brother is telling her that mom is acting a bit strange, a bit weird. So when she revisits her mother, she's freaking shocked to walk into the house pretty much emptied out, white. The walls are now painted white, and her mother is always on edge, always looking over her shoulder when no one else is in the room with her. So she tries to unravel what's going on here, trying to figure out what is going on in her childhood home. Next, I have Cursed Bread. I don't know, I just saw this around. By Sophie McIntosh. It looks old, and that's why I bought it. It looks like an old, like, mystery about, like, bread that's cursed or something. Next up is Blood Debts by Terry J. Benton Walker. It says justice will reign, and on the back it says in New Orleans, God's meddle and magic will betray you, but this time justice will reign. I don't know, but it sounds good. It looks really good too. Next up, I don't really know where this one falls, but I have the Davenports, I don't really know. This says they have wealth and reputation. Now is their chance to find love. This is by Crystal Marquis. They're one of the few black families of the immense wealth and status in the changing United States. Their fortune made through the entrepreneurship of William Davenport, a formerly enslaved man who founded the Davenport Carriage Company years ago. Now the Davenports live surrounded by servants, crystal chandeliers, and endless parties, finding their way and finding love, even when they're not supposed to. Next little stack I have here is a bunch of random stuff. First in this little stack I have here is Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I bought this one at the Half Price Bookstore as well. So this one I have a rough idea about. Carrie Soto was, I think, like a really famous record-breaking like tennis player, and she decides to retire one day, but then she sees that somebody has beat her record. So she comes out of retirement to find this person and beat the record that she wants. Very exciting. I'm actually really excited about this one. I've heard really, really fun things. Next, we have 2 books about Graceland. I don't know if you know this, but I love Elvis, and I love Austin Butler just as much. But if I was born at the same time as Elvis, I would have been such a fangirl. And I am here even though he's not alive and with us. But I think next year my grandma's gonna take me to Graceland, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see his pink Cadillac, everything. Oh my god, his suits. Graceland, I just want to see it. But I really want to read these before I go. This one, 1,000 Miles to Graceland, is about our main character, Grace Johnson. And her life is kind of upended when her frickin' husband decides to frickin' divorce her. I'm sorry for the frickins. But her husband decides to divorce her, so her life is kind of upended. She's kind of just stuck in the dumps. But instead of letting people know that she's wallowing in sadness and embarrassment, she decides to take her mom, her 70-year-old mom, or her 69-year-old mother, who for her 70th birthday wants to go to Graceland. It's a spontaneous little road trip to Graceland, and along the way they have a lot of little roadside stops to psychics, wig mishaps, and familiar passive-aggressive zingers. It sounds so funny and like really just fun and light, but also it says that as they're driving to Graceland, they kind of bring up some hurt feelings from past situations between the two of them and just in their family in general, and they kind of want to get past it. So it's like about forgiveness and overcoming obstacles. And also, Grace also might have another chance at love. So it's very interesting. I can't wait to read it. It says apparently the king really does work in mysterious ways. And also on the front here, it says this mother-daughter road trip has them all shook up. Isn't that the funniest little thing you've ever seen? I'm all shook up. Mm-hmm. I love that song. Mm-hmm. Ay, ay, ay. The other one though, Graceland, just Graceland, is also a family road trip. This one is about a girl named Hope. She feels like such a burden and she feels like she can't please anyone lately. Hope's mother is Olivia Grant. She is a soap opera star and she is getting older and believes that she is going to die soon. So she wants to go to Graceland one last time before she believes she will pass away. So it kind of sucks that Hope has to kind of disappoint her mother once again by saying she can't go. She says she can't go because she has secrets from Memphis from years and years ago that she does not want to bring up and talk about. But because Olivia Grant is so determined to go to Graceland one last time, she decides to invite Dylan to drive her to Graceland. And Dylan is Hope's daughter. So Dylan and Olivia are stuck in this car together, driving to Graceland, and Hope is desperately trying to stop them from uncovering any secrets about her past in Memphis. And I guess it just kind of like comes to light and they have to deal with it. I don't know. It sounds just the same as this one here because it says they run into some interesting stuff on the way to Graceland. It says they encounter jealous soap actors, free-range ferrets, and a trio of Elvis impersonating frat boys as they're driving up to Graceland. It sounds so fun. Next up, I found this one at the half-price bookstore as well. It was $8. And it's called Mr. Fox by Helen Oyeyemi. I hope I'm not butchering that name. This one is complicated. I really don't get this, but I have a feeling I'll like it. You know, it just looks like something very, very, like, interesting. I'm pretty sure he's a writer. He kills off his heroines in every single book because I don't know why. And then one of his heroines decides to come to life, pops right out of a novel, out of a book, a story, whatever he writes, and he writes these heroines as people he genuinely would have a connection with in real life. So when Mary, one of his heroines, comes out of his book, she comes to life, and their connection is, you can obviously see that they have a connection because he wrote her. And then his wife Daphne is like, oh my god, there's something sketchy's going on here. They're having an affair. Something's not right. And apparently Mr. Fox has the option to choose between his wife and Mary to spend the rest of his life with. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. I really don't know what I'm getting myself into with this book, but it sounds great. It sounds awesome. Next up, I bought a YA romance, and that is 10 Blind Dates by Ashley Elston. So Sophie, our main character, wants her parents to be less protective, and so when her family decides to go to South Louisiana for Christmas to spend time with her older sister, Sophie is kind of allowed to have some alone time with her boyfriend Griffin. But turns out Griffin wants to break up. So, all sad and lonely, like me, she decides to go to her grandma's house and ask her grandparents' house and ask her grandma for advice on like, what do I do? How do I deal with this? Her grandma, being a spontaneous girl, I guess, decides that the best idea in this situation is to let her granddaughter, Sophie, go on 10 blind dates over the next 10 days. And each of the blind dates she gets for the 10 days are picked by a different family member. So you can tell who picked who, and it'll be just, I think it's gonna be really sweet. You know, it sounds really fun and fluffy. Then I have a manga, and it's Wotakoi. I don't know if I'm saying that right. This is just a little romance here. I've seen this around, and I saw it at Walmart, and I was like, you know what, let me just get the first one and see how I like it. Alright, so next 3 books here, I'm not really gonna go too into depth with, but I have 3 book of the month picks. For January, I ended up picking Age of Vice. I think this is like a mystery thriller thing, and now that I know that about it, I kind of really want to read it. And then for February, I ended up picking River Sing Me Home by Eleanor Shearer. And this is about a mother, I think, who's trying to track down her family, or her son, I'm pretty sure, after the aftermath of slavery. It's a page-turning and redemptive story of a mother's gripping journey across the Caribbean to find her stolen children in the aftermath of slavery. And then for March, I picked Wayward by Amelia Hart. Next, I'm gonna get into some romance. Romance is my favorite. I love romance so much. But like, I have so many romance, but the problem is that I never read them. So I think this summer, I would really like to get into some of those. So for romance, I got 2 Christmas romances, so let's talk about those. The first one I have here is Mistletoe and Mr. Right. Once again, it's in like perfect condition, so I was like, why not? So Lana Montgomery, our main character, our main female lead, she is visiting the town of Moose Springs, Alaska. And she's pretty much hated by the town because she's too, like, I don't know, there's just, people don't like her there. No reason particular, she must just be too cheery, too happy. They just don't like her. So in an effort to try and win over the town's heart, or people's hearts, I guess, and to try and get on their good side, she decides to try to track down this villain in the town, and the villain is just like a big moose. And there is also a boy character, and there's also a man named Rick Harding. And Rick Harding realizes that Lana has come back in town, and he has always had this like burning crush for her and longing to be with her because she's so beautiful. Lana mistakes Rick for the moose, the Christmas moose thing that she's trying to hunt down, and shoots him with a dart, a tranquilizer dart. As she realizes that that's not a moose, that's Rick. Rick decides to help Lana track down the Santa Moose. The other Christmas book I ended up getting is such a cute, I love this cover. We have Love Light Farms by B.K. Borison, and this cover is so adorable. Like, aside from the sticker here, it's so cute. Next, well, the majority of these romances, I have no idea what they're about. I tend to just buy because of the covers. But the next one I have is also from the Half Price Bookstore, and it's Summer Reading by Jen McKinley. Next, I have some Tessa Bailey here. I've never read a Tessa Bailey book before, but I really want to. I own a few of her books, but I ended up buying Secretly Yours because look at this man. That man is, oh my god, he's a snack. And then there's also Unfortunately Yours, which honestly, these two guys literally look the exact same. They're doing the same pose. So Hallie Welch had a huge crush on Julian Voss when they were 14 years old. And so she almost kissed him in the dark vineyards of his family's winery, but they end up like splitting and parting ways, and then she comes back and he's now a grumpy professor who she still has a crush on. I have no idea what this one's about. Still looks good though. Next, I ended up getting Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. It says good guys don't fall for bad girls. Oh, it's a good guy falling for a bad girl? I don't know what this is about. It says Police Chief Nash Morgan is known for 2 things, being a good guy and the way his uniform accentuates his butt. This is gonna be so fun. I also ended up getting Planes, Trains, and All the Feels by Livy Hart. This one just looks really fun. I love the colors, I love the cover, it's so wacky and fun. I think our main character, Cassidy Bliss, is a choreographer. She's the black sheep of the family, and she avoids disappointing her family as much as she possibly can, but it just keeps happening. She keeps disappointing them. She ends up having to share the last rental car with the jerk who cut her off in the line at the airport this morning. But horrible times apparently call for Here Goes Nothing Measures. So driving across the country with Luke can be solved with a spreadsheet. Next, I got Best Served Hot by Amanda Elliott. This one involves food. I recently read a romance about, it was called For Butter or Worse. Stunning cover, a great time. I really liked the book. But this one's about a girl named Julie Zimmerman who has she's an online restaurant reviewer, and it's kind of an after-hour job. Like, it's not her actual job, but she does it for fun. It's a side gig. And she really wants to be a critic at the New York Scroll, but I'm pretty sure Bennett Richard McAllister Wright snagged that dream job for her. And while at a food festival, Julie confronts the annoyingly handsome Bennett about his outdated opinions on social media, and she posts the resulting video footage. Julie's follower count soars, and so does the Scrolls. Julie and Bennett grudgingly agree to partner up for a few reviews to further their online buzz, obviously. But then they fall in love. Oh my god. Yes. Yes. Next, I have 2 Christina Lauren books. I don't think I've hauled these ones yet. I have Dating You, Hating You by Christina Lauren. I believe it's in Hollywood. Carter and Evie hit it off at a Halloween party, and they don't let the fact that they work for opposing agencies get in the way of their relationship. But then those 2 agencies merge together as one, and they're fighting for the same job position. And then they just become enemies. But then they fall in love again, I'm assuming. So, like, I'm really excited to see where this one goes. I also have my favorite half-night stand. I found this one at Barnes & Noble the night before I was supposed to fly out to Hawaii. I ended up getting almost halfway through it. I DNF'd it because I got sidetracked with school, and I didn't want to possibly rate it less than what it deserved. I was really getting into it though. I had the audiobook, and I'll probably go back to it with the audiobook at some point this summer. That would be really nice. From what I got from it, it's our main character, Millie Morris. She's in like a friend group, and it's all guys, except there's this one guy named Reed Campbell in that friend group, and she secretly thinks he's sexy. So one night they have a one-night stand, but they decided to be better off as platonic friends. So enter Catherine, Millie's fictional persona online on a dating app. Catherine and Reed strike up a digital pen palship, but Millie can't resist temptation in real life either. Soon, Millie will have to face her worst fear, intimacy, or risk losing her best friend. The other 2 romances I have here, I ended up buying their exclusive editions of Boyfriend Material as well as Husband Material by Alexis Hall. Haven't read these books, no idea what they're about. They're just so gosh dang beautiful. This is a male-male romance, and these are stunning. Stunning! So here's the undercover. And then there's a reversible dust jacket here. Lovely. I love the reversible dust jacket, but I'm not willing to mess it up. And then it's a pink one. It's a pink one. Yes, please. Stunning. Stunning. Lovely. Lovely. These are literally stunning. I don't know when I'll read these, but I thought that since they're so beautiful, I might as well hop onto the opportunity. So now we're gonna get into all of the exclusive editions of books that I've gotten in all of those 5 bookish box thingies that I've gotten. Actually 4, because there's Goldsboro, the bookish box, Owl Crate, and Illuma Crate. Book of the month isn't really exclusive stuff, it's just a different format. So let's get into it. These are in no particular order. I just put them all in stacks. There's so many of them, which is, now that I see them all laid out like this, I feel like it's definitely time to cancel some subscriptions because I don't need all these, but I'm really happy I have them, not gonna lie. But this is also from the bookish box, and so it's Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I had my eye on this book since I saw the UK covers, because the UK cover I love. US cover, I'm sorry, but I hate it. So when I got this in the mail, I was very, very happy that I don't have to buy the US cover. Divine Rivals, I'm pretty sure this takes place in like the 1920s or 30s, or I don't even know. I love it. It's really not reversible, it's just like cool art underneath. I don't know what it's about. I'm not gonna get into depth on these exclusive editions because there's way too many to get into. And then today I actually got in the mail this one from Owlcrate. It's a really interesting copy of a book. I don't think I have anything quite like this. It's Threads That Bind. It's cool too because the dust jacket is clear. You can take that off, and then underneath is just the print. Very cool iridescent stuff going on here. Here's the really nice end papers, very shocking to the eyeball. It's the same on the other side, and then it's also signed by the author, which is really cool. This one is Illumicrate, and I have Lies We Sing to the Sea by Sarah Underwood. I don't think I've mentioned this one on here yet. It's got navy and then yellow stenciled with like a little boat in there. It's kind of cool. I really love Illumicrate's books. Like, they always please me. So I really don't want to cancel my subscription for them. Or like the end papers here with the signature. I love those end papers. They're very, very beautiful, and I love that they have like the gold foil in there. It's really awesome. I've never seen anything quite like it. Next, I have Witch King, and this one's also Illumicrate. I got this one, I think, last month. Underneath is very pretty. It's purple, and it's got like gilded words on there. Nothing on the back, but the end papers have this really cool image on it, and it makes me very interested to see what this book is about. And this looks really cool too. So I just want to know what it's about, you know? Next up, I have The Luminaries. I got this one a long time ago. This is also Illumicrate. I love this cover. I love it. It's so gorgeous. It makes me so intrigued. It looks so dark and mysterious. The only thing I hate about it is orange. The orange sprayed edges. It just doesn't, it clashes to me. I really don't like the orange sprayed edges, but it's still awesome. There's really cool end papers. I just live for the end papers. And the undercover is so gorgeous. Are you kidding me? How? Next is another Illumicrate. This one takes the cake. Nothing I've gotten from Illumicrate or any other subscription box has beaten how lovely this book looks. Look at it. Song of Silver Flame Like Night by Emily Wen Zhao. Hope I'm saying that right, but it's so vibrant. And if that doesn't like persuade you to read it, it's got blue there, purple there, and some gorgeous art on the end. Look at that. That is so... I got this in the mail and I was like, there's no way I own this. It's signed by the author. It's got really cool end papers. But then look at the undercover. Like the actual hardback itself. What? What? Like when I got this in the mail, I was so happy. Next, I think this one is also from Owlcrate. So this one's Owlcrate, and it's The Buried and the Bound by Rachel Hassan. This one's really interesting. It's got a reversible dust jacket, really cool undercover, end papers as well. This looks really cool and fun. I don't know what this book is about at all. That's sweet. Green. Ooh. And then the reversible dust jacket is like this giant wolf thing hunting some people down. Next, I have two kind of spacey looking books. And the first one, I believe, is from Illumicrate. Yeah, Illumicrate, and it's Some Desperate Glory by Emily Tesh. But it does have really cool like galaxy edges. Super awesome. It also just looks cool, like the dust jacket doesn't do it for me, but there's so many books out there that are a pleasant surprise, so like I'm obviously not gonna judge it by that. Next, this one is also Illumicrate. This one looks like another spacey kind of one. It's The Red Scholar's Wake. This one has a really nice cover. It's got some pretty sprayed edges. I think we're following two main characters, but I really don't know anything about it. It does look really cool though. And very pretty end papers. Next, I have God Killer by Hannah Kaner. This cover calls to me. It's like the pastels mixed with like the navy blue is really freaking cool. Illumicrate is just so above and beyond in my opinion. I just can't live without it. The God Killer. So it has like navy edges here, and then it has this gorgeous stenciled sprayed edges here. Here it is signed, and it's got that gold foiling mixed. Oh, it's like it's lighting up. You know what I mean? It's so cool. There's no reversible dust jacket or artwork underneath the dust jacket or like on the dust jacket, but the actual hardcover itself has a cool print on it. It looks almost like a dystopian world, but I could be wrong. Next, I believe this is an owl crate, and this is Revell by Lissa Mia Smith. This looks like it's like a 1920s kind of thing. Same on either side, and then it has purple like foiling on the cover, and the reversible dust jacket is really cool. It's like a circus book, which is really exciting for me because I'm always looking for a good circus book. Another owl crate, I'm pretty sure, is Midnight Strikes. This cover, I'm not gonna lie, is not my favorite. It does have really cool gilded gold edges and really awesome end papers. Next up, I have this really pretty freaking book. I'm pretty sure this is a Lumicrate, but I could be wrong. It's silver in the bone, but it's so pretty. I just love everything about it, and the silver gilded edges. It also has a reversible artwork dust jacket, artwork on the actual hardcover itself, and very beautiful edges. Yeah, this is Owl Crate. I think they did really well on this one. I really like this cover. It's also signed by the author. So here's the artwork on the cover itself. And then there is a reversible or like artwork underneath the dust jacket or on the other side. Very pretty. I also have some more the Bookish Box stuff. It's the High Mountain Court, The Five Crowns of Oakrith by A.K. Mulford. I have no idea, but it has like metal like edge thingies to it. It's got some cool like stenciled sprayed edges too, and some really pretty end papers. Same on either side. This one is another one I got from the Bookish Box that I personally adore. It's so gorgeous. It's called Bow Before the Elf Queen. Excuse me? That woman is literally the most beautiful thing I've ever laid eyes on. Some really pretty, like purple, stenciled sprayed edges, and then purple with like these swords on it for the end papers. Underneath, you have like gold foiling that's kind of iridescent. So on this side it says Bow Before the Elf Queen, and then on this side it says Bow Before the Elf King. There's a king on it, I guess. And it does have a reversible dust jacket, which in my opinion is not as cool as this one. I really like this one, but this one's also really cool. Like I said, I have a Goldsboro subscription, and so I have 4 books from Goldsboro. So the first one I ever got, I don't remember what month this one was for, but I got Shield Maiden. And this one looks really freaking cool. It's got blue and like the gold. And I really like the simplicity of like the edges and how like they're stenciled. The Goldsboro books don't ever have like reversible dust jacket stuff, I don't think, but they do have pretty undercover art, just like simple, like I said, and they're always signed by the authors, which is really fun. So this isn't just the regular Goldsboro subscription. I wanted to get into the Goldsboro fantasy subscription service because I feel like I would enjoy these books a lot more than I would their regular subscription. There's also the Book of Eve by Meg Clothier or something, I don't know. This one's really pretty cover. So there's that. It does have yellow sprayed edges, which I really despise yellow edges for some reason. They just bother me. I don't feel like they fit the cover very well. This one looks so cool. I want to read this one really bad. It's called Dragonfall by L.R. Lamb. Oh my god. And look at that. Beautiful. Underneath has a gold dragon on it. Signed by the author. And yeah, I'm very excited about this one. This one just screams fun. And then the final Goldsboro book I have, or exclusive edition from Goldsboro that I have, is Perilous Times. This was the most recent one that I've received for the month of June, I'm pretty sure. This one also calls to me. This one looks just so crazy too. You know what I mean? It's so vibrant, but also like very intriguing. It's by Thomas D. Lee, and it has really awesome sprayed / stenciled edges, and it has like a cloth bookmark in there or whatever. It says, in perilous times like these, the realm doesn't just need a hero, it needs a knight in shining armor. So I'm very excited about this one. I just love the simplicity of these. I ended up purchasing the the Fairy Loot exclusive editions of the Inheritance Games trilogy because I love the trilogy. I love it so much with all my heart. I'm definitely Team Grayson. If you're Team Jameson, you're wrong. I've got the Inheritance Games. These look really old-fashioned and so cool. And that's what I like about them so much, is because they truly remind me of something that would be in the Inheritance Games like world. Here's the gorgeous undercover for that. Beautiful stenciled edges over the red sprayed. I love it. We have the Hawthorne brothers here. And Grayson. Always in a black tuxedo. We trust. And then here's Avery at the Hawthorne house. The Hawthorne Legacy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, obviously. A deadly game, a puzzle to solve, a fortune at stake. This one was also so interesting. I love like the chocolate edges to these ones. These ones are super cool. Here's the undercover of this one, super fun. And then the end paper here, she's with Jameson, they're golfing or something. I don't remember that scene, but ooh! And then here's Grayson and her out in the shivering cold. And then this one is the Final Gambit, the last book in the trilogy, obviously. This one is the most beautiful in my opinion. The green with the gold is just chef's kiss beautiful. I love this color of green. I don't know what they did here, but it's beautiful. I love it. So there's that green stenciled edges there. Jameson and Grayson kind of glaring at each other as Avery just looks off in the distance. All mysterious. And then the final gambit, the final like chess scene. That was so fun. Speaking of Jennifer Lynn Barnes, I ended up purchasing 6 more of her books. So let's talk about those. The first of which, or the first 2 being Little White Lies and Deadly Little Scandals. I'm pretty sure this involves like a debutante, like ball or something like that. And along with that, about when I was in Branson, I ended up splurging and getting the series The Naturals, and she just recently released new covers for this series. The old covers were ugly, I'm sorry, but they were not cute. And I was so excited when I heard she was releasing these new covers. It says, to catch a serial killer, you have to think like one. And that's really cool. So I got The Naturals. The Naturals! Then there's Killer Instinct, which is book number 2. Awesome. I love the purple. It's very vibrant and fun. There's also All In. And then the final book is Bad Blood, which is so thick and juicy. I just can't wait. Especially if I love the series, this is going to be such a fun book. Next, I ended up buying 3 V.E. Schwab books. I've never read anything by V.E. Schwab or Victoria Schwab. So I ended up getting the first 2 books in the Darker Shade of Magic trilogy. I don't know if there's another name for it, but I got A Darker Shade of Magic, and these are the new covers, I believe. I'm pretty sure these are the new covers. I saw this and I was just like, oh my god, this is beautiful. I love the blue and the red. It's so eye-catching. We have our main character, Kel, who is the last Antari. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. And basically, an Antari is someone who can travel between the different parallel universes of London. There's the Red London, Grey London, White London, and at one point there was a Black London as well. Kel was raised in Red London, where he was an ambassador, or is an ambassador. He's also unofficially a smuggler who shows people glimpses of the different Londons when they pay him to. After one of his smuggling exchanges goes wrong, he ends up escaping into Grey London and running into a girl named Delilah Bard. She originally robs him, but then saves him from an enemy, and then asks him to take her on an adventure through all the different Londons. And that's kind of where we take off in the story. So I also have A Gathering of Shadows which has like a really cool navy, almost violet color with red on it. It's just so gorgeous. Also by V.E. Schwab, I have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I ended up getting this really floppy like paperback version and I love it. I told myself I'd never buy this book, but it's about a girl named Addie LaRue who I believe just like makes a deal with a dangerous stranger in France of 1714. So I think she gets to live forever, but anyone she ever meets will never remember who she is. 300 years later, she stumbles into a hidden bookstore and finds someone who remembers her. Next up, I bought Dune by Frank Herbert. I've had my eye on this book for many a year, because, I don't know, I've heard a lot of people talking about it. When I heard that there was a movie coming out, I was like, ooh, maybe I should read the book before I go see the movie. Never saw the movie. But guess who's in the second movie? Part 2, or whatever. I found out that Austin Butler plays one of the villains in Dune Part 2. And that makes me really happy, really excited. So, next up I have City of Last Chances by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that. This is so gorgeous. Just this cover alone tells me it's going to be a great book. Next, I have a signed copy of Angeline Bouilly's newest book, Warrior Girl Unearthed. Sorry. This is like a companion novel / sequel to Firekeeper's Daughter, and I really enjoyed that book. I did not know that she was coming out with another book, but I saw the spine and I was like, that looks really similar to Firekeeper's Daughter. So I looked at it and apparently it's like a sequel. I don't really know what this one is about. Next, I got kind of another chunker of a book. I've seen this around and I really want to read it. I don't think I've heard anyone talking about it, but I saw it and the cover is so gorgeous that I just have to have it. And that is Delicious Monsters. No idea what it's about. It's just that the main character can see dead people, and since moving to Ontario, she kind of sees a lot more dead people, and it's a lot harder to keep her secret at bay, I guess you could say. Next, I ended up getting In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. I haven't read anything by TJ Klune, but I've heard phenomenal stuff, you know. In a strange little home built into a grove of trees, there is a family, a robotic family. There is an android named Geo, a nurse machine, as well as a little vacuum that's kind of in search for love right now. But also living there is Victor, and he's a human. One day, Victor salvages another android that's labeled HAP or HAP, which he finds is very similar to Geo, and that Geo and HAP might have some connections. Victor discovers that HAP and Geo have a shared dark past of hunting humans. Before my battery dies, I have 3 books left. The first being Elvis and Me by Priscilla Presley. Can't wait to read this one. It's mass market paperback, but that's not gonna stop me, okay? I love Elvis, as you know. I need to read it. It's just a priority. I also have Malcolm X Speaks. Oh my god. Malcolm X Speaks, edited by George Brightman. I have listened to a couple of Malcolm X's speeches for my classes, and it's very interesting. I would love to read more about what he had to say. And finally, my friend Sir ended up buying me Prince Harry's memoir, Spare, for my birthday back in December. And I'm gonna buy the audiobook for it and listen to it eventually. Very excited about it. I don't know what to expect. I've heard kind of some wacky stuff goes on in this book, but I don't know. Anyway, thank you for watching today's video. I kind of have to cut this video off really abruptly because my battery's dead, pretty much, so I'm gonna go now. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Monday on my channel. Cross your fingers. See you later, taters. Bye.